Alright, guys. So... hang on 1 second here. It keeps drifting off the screen. Share. Copy. Where is Discord? Okay. So back to the game. I don't know why the Sona command is showing up so big. I think that's a bug. But I wanted to show everyone kind of where we're at right now. And we're in a massive problem. So we just formed the United Federation of Planets and got screwed. We got heavily screwed. So we were having an influence issue. It was like -2 and it brought it down to 0 before we formed the Federation. And influence is, part of the in-game, I wouldn't say currency, but resource that I'm trying to figure out exactly how we basically get it. And it's showing me a monthly gain is a -3.29. We're only producing 0.07 and we're consuming 3.37, and it's become definitely an issue because it states here, influence represents political clout and is used for many things, like enacting edicts. So I enacted the only edict that I could, making claims, building outposts, and dealing with factions. The gain rate remains fairly constant through the game, but can be increased by winning the support of factions in our empire and declaring other empires your rivals. So what it's talking about is down here is these factions. And let's see, manage. So right now we are openly supporting Doctors Without Borders and the Solar Freedom Movement. And the reason being is the theoretical propulsion group's approval actually just went up. So the approval of a faction represents how pleased it is with the current status quo and may affect the happiness of its population. The higher the faction's approval and support, the more influence we gain from it. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and promote the policy and values of the theoretical propulsion group. And then this support is the support from our citizens. So right now they are supporting the Solar Freedom Movement. And these are the issues right here. So we're still having a massive problem with influence. And influence is what's used when you set up a star base to claim a system. And so that's why our progression was very slow, is we kept on not having enough influence. So my takeaway from this is, should I have expanded beyond the Sol system or waited? That way our influence numbers wouldn't be so much in the negative. But it is a long time to wait in the game to get to this point. Or possibly some systems. The reason I went for the systems I did is because they had resources that were farmable, that I have certain different mining facilities and research facilities set up to collect. And yes, I know, energy credits. My energy credits just got... I was actually doing pretty good with energy. And once the Andorians, the Vulcans, and the Tellarites came in, the energy credits just shot through the ground. And I'm really starting to lose it. So What I did in that situation is I went to all the available colonies we have, and I'm building fusion reactors. So that's basically what I'm hoping is going to answer our power problems. I'm not sure if that's going to work. But we also have this issue, starbase capacity. We can effectively support a total of 6 upgraded starbases. Outposts do not count toward this cap. Bases, 3 from owned systems, 3. We are currently exceeding our starbase capacity. This has the following effects. Starbase upkeep is plus 75%. So it's costing us more to manage the starbases that we have, which is probably what is causing this. And a lot of the resources, if you are low in the amount of, you can go to the market and buy them. Right now we don't have a galactic market, so we just have the standard market, and we can't buy energy, and we can't buy influence, which sucks. None of these were in the red before I formed the Federation, except for influence. Then we have luxuries. We definitely need to build some buildings for luxuries. Empire sprawl. So this is showing it's in the negative, but it's not really telling me anything from here. Okay, so the way I'm reading this is our total sprawl is 130, but our administrative capacity is only 70. So we're going to need, from what I'm reading here, we're going to need more administrative buildings. And we only have one envoy. I'm trying to figure out how to get more envoys. And we already talked about the starbase capacity, and power is... power is a big problem. So I've gone to Earth, and I'm building a fusion reactor. Sigma Draconis, we're building a fusion reactor. And Struve, we're building a fusion reactor. So I'm hoping that is going to help us, but I'm not exactly for sure. So, a couple of things about forming the United Federation of Planets. So, the only people that were eligible to join or not join were people that were in the coalition of planets with us. And going forward, if they want to join the Federation, they have to join the coalition of planets, and everything is by a majority vote. So, Denobula, they backed out of the Federation. They did not want to join. The Saurian home planet backed out of joining the Federation. They did not want to join. They're both part of our coalition of planets, however, so they're both under our protection. And you see these systems right here. This is the Teller homeworld. This is the Andorian homeworld. And I believe this is the Vulcan homeworld. So when they join the Federation, they get to keep their home systems, and they basically will send their fleets if anything does happen to us. So they are still sending a lot of ships. I'm sending my repair ships out to set up mining facilities, research facilities, outposts, things like that. So the one thing I did notice, let's see, yep, first contact date is active. And I have no idea what democratic. I have no idea what that currency is. Because before we didn't have it. It says we're lacking 800. I'll have to figure that one out. So that was an edict. And those edicts help with the influence, which is why I enacted that one. So, rivals. Because influence was saying if we declare rivals, let's go back here. Don't need that. winning the support of factions in our empire, which we're working on, and declaring other empires your rivals. So if we go over here to contacts, and we have a casus belli on them. Border friction. Okay. I wonder what's going on with Benzar. And the Cardassian Union is at war with the Zenkethi coalition. That'll be interesting. The Sharenites. Let me go to the Romulan Star Empire.
A strong empire begins with a firm foundation.
So this is one thing I'm confused about. So it says here to declare rivalry. Declare Romulan Star Empire to be our rival. Grants animosity casus belli on Romulan Star Empire. Requires terrible relations, which we don't have. Rivalry, an envoy sent to harm relations, or one empire must be in the supremacist diplomacy stance, or be an unaffected race. So, we can't declare rivalry, which I want to do. So I'm going to move our envoy from the Zindi, who have started to pick up a couple of systems. I thought about, like, they could make us more powerful and more balanced by getting them to join the coalition of planets. But the problem is they're probably going to have a lot of facilities that are going to drag us down again. So I think I'm going to focus on Denobula and the Saurians, as they only have one system. And they're probably managing it very well. So I'm going to send this envoy to the Romulan Star Empire to harm relations. So that we can declare them, actually. They are superior to us, so I'm not sure if I want to, and so are the Klingons. Not sure if I want to do it to the Cardassians. So if I go back here.
Yes.
Oh man, that sucks. I can't even move it even though the game is paused. Oh well.
Research complete.
They made peace already. Oh, okay, so now the luxuries I'm not used to the luxuries being expended like that. So they're running low, so that's why we have to build more luxury buildings. Wonderful. There we go. Oh. So we're definitely not going to support the Earth Mining Consortium, as the approval of affection represents, so this would lower happiness 10%. So I'm definitely not going to work on that, but the approvals on these three are definitely going pretty well. So we're not embracing any faction because it's going to displease everyone else. And look, our influence has increased to -5. That is not good. We don't find a solution for these. I may have to restart this game and rethink of
Research.
my strategy. Oh, this is cool. Due to their advances in technology, the North Star Confederation is now a vassal under the United Federation of Planets. And the North Star Federation, right here, was the colony of humans Captain Archer found in the Delphic Expanse that were from about the 19th century. And so, looks like we're getting closer to getting them included into the United Federation of Planets. So I've definitely learned a lot of things in this game. I've learned more about managing the worlds that you have. I found those to be incredibly important. The energy is definitely a big thing. Energy, the big thing about the energy level of your union is every time you recruit an officer, a scientist, either to do research or to command a starship, they're drawing on that. And so you really want to make sure you're balancing that out. The influence has definitely still puzzled me because I haven't really seen a clear one-way answer of how to manage this. The only thing that I noticed about this here is, so it represents political clout and used for many things like enacting edicts, making claims, building outposts, and dealing with factions. The gain rate remains fairly constant. So basically all the star bases I was building is drawing on that, and the additional star bases I earned are now drawing on that, making it even more negative. The declaring rivals is definitely a difficult thing, as we don't have horrible relations with anyone right now. And the winning the support of our factions in our empire, that is one thing we are working on, and it looks like it's actually doing pretty well. The approval rates. Right now, a lot of people are torn on the support. So yeah, so the influence is definitely something I'm going to be working on. The luxuries, there are certain buildings you can build to earn more luxuries on each planet that you have. And the Empire Sprawl, the administrative buildings is a big one for that as well. So yeah, this one, and I tried looking it up online, and no one's really talking about it, which is weird. So, alien barracks. The silhouettes dissemble from orbit are indeed buildings, and closer inspection reveal them to be of an obvious martial nature. While abandoned for some time, though very recently on a galactic timescale, Science Officer Jonathan Archer believes that the secrets of alien tactics may yet be exhumed from beneath the dust that covers the decaying barracks and looted armories. Special project may be issued to study the remains. Oh! Oh, interesting. So, if I'm reading this correctly, and it has... So this option is available to the United Federation of Planets having the pacifist ethic. So, we could click on this and basically disregard this mission and earn 40 influence from it. Or, we can issue a special project for the alien barracks and probably learn something from a different civilization. I did not realize this one right here. Wow. Okay. So the only reason I'm not going to pick this one is because we're in the negative every time our clock is ticking. So even if I get the 40, it's going to eat itself away. So I'm just going to... I'd rather do the mission to see if I can get something else from it.
Mission log updated. Research complete.
Pulse phase cannons. Finally, we can get a tractor beam. Oh, this is interesting. So the Federation Bureau of Industrialization. The Bureau is charged with industrialization of developing worlds to ensure Federation technology is brought to their worlds and to bring them up to the same level of development as the rest of the Federation. Reduces the population amenities usage used by our populations by -5% and reduces building costs by -5%. Allows special member world research programs to be undertaken at the Federation Council meetings. So this one I'm actually going to do because I'm negative in amenities, and this sounds like it's going to help me with that a little bit. Not that much. And looks like all of our ships are doing something right now.
System survey complete.
No ships have been upgraded yet.
Research complete.
And we are definitely running out of energy fast. How? They're getting close. Okay, this time we don't get anything for just forgetting the mission. So we have identified a scientist among the primitive onlies on Miri that show great promise. His brilliant research is far ahead of his peers, and part of it is revolutionary even by our standards. Though his work is certainly increasing the technological process of the onlies, his potential is wasted on their backward civilization. In our advanced labs, he would have an opportunity to do some real science. Oh God, this is such an ethical issue. Drop an abduction scenario. He is still a savage. Leave him with his people. I'm going to be bad and use him as a scientist.
Mission log updated.
So that has decreased.
The FCA is watching you. The FCA is watching you. The FCA is watching you.
Oh, that's pretty cool. So I got their sensor data link for about 19 years of the Valurians. Alright, so that didn't do anything by building those. Wow.
Construction complete.
The FCA is watching you.
System survey complete.
Give you a better chance. Give you a bigger stick, maybe.
That's weird.
We Nausicaa, you weak.
Construction complete.
Alright, so the Federation Council is meeting, and legislators from across the United Federation of Planets, from Vulcan to Tellar Prime, has converged on Earth for the Federation Council agenda session every 2 years. Prime Minister Aisima opens the session welcoming the gathered council members before passing the floor to Governor Burgeon Glovemog of Tellar Prime. Several hours of policy debate ensue, leaving Prime Minister Aisima to ponder her recommendation for the next 2 years. Alright, so let's talk Ascension talks with potential member worlds. Denobula, Saurian, and the North Star. So, let's do... Ascension to the United Federation plans is a long and detailed process. While basic principles are often agreed early, the minutiae of the Federation's legal framework, trade regulations, and contributions to Starfleet often require substantial investments in time and material from Federation government in order to progress. The diplomatic service has compiled a list of options available within our resource constraints to fund the process.
Research project complete. Automatic defense procedures initiated.
Oh. Oh, there's hostiles there. They're pretty strong.
Construction complete. Research complete.
Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. I think there's some more research I need to do on this game. Specifically managing these resources. The energy one didn't make a lot of sense to me once I built 3 energy facilities. My guess is they are not being worked, and that's what I'm looking for the menu to reallocate citizens to those. So because I've seen it on there's something. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and end this and work on researching this and come back with a better understanding of this game for you guys. Alright, thanks for watching.